Hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for joining West Ham Fan TV live and uncut, as usual. I'm here with my old pal, Ryan Archer. Ryan, how you doing, mate?
I'm all right, mate. How are you? I like
I'm
when
all
you say old pal. We are getting on a bit, mate.
Yeah, we are getting on. I don't mean like old as in we're old.
No, we'll know what you mean, mate.
We've been known each other many moons now.
You can say how it is. You've had a couple of drinks. Get off your chest. Go on.
All right, we are all old. Weather's looking a bit ropey out here today. Got a dead pixel back. Camera crashed. I can't use it. Right, so let's get straight into it, Ryan. I suppose people are asking what injury crisis. Manuel Pellegrini has turned around and told everyone that Haller and Anderson are both doubts for this weekend. Which is it's a bit of a kick in the teeth, mate.
It'd be a massive blow, wouldn't it? I mean, he said they picked up some knocks last week. So I'm hoping that it's just Pellegrini with his little mind games and, you know, they're both going to be in the squad. Because I know he said there's going to be 2 changes this weekend. But I was thinking Masuaku for Creswell and probably Fornals for Antonio. I hope it's not going to be Anderson and Haller out the team, because that'd be a massive blow, especially as we really need to pick up some points at Brighton.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. It could be mind games. It could be mind games. Anderson was saying that he felt okay to come back on last week. It was just a precaution that he sort of limped out the game. And what Haller? I mean, he played 90 minutes.
Yeah, so whether they've picked it up, he said they done it last week in the game. So whether Haller just obviously took a knock and played on. I mean, they're going to assess it tomorrow. So when they say that, you know, there's still a chance that they could make the squad. But yeah, it'd be a massive blow if them 2 are out, especially his second game of the season. You know, they're both our record signings.
Matt Powell says, don't know why people are panicking. We've still got Yarmolenko and a new striker.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, but Yarmolenko's just coming back from a long injury and he wasn't even in the matchday squad last week. So, yeah, look, he's been back full training, and obviously Ayeti, is it Ayeti? Is that how you pronounce his name? Ayeti, yeah. I mean, he's there. You've got Hernandez still. So, look, we'll still have a strong team, but it's just be a massive blow because we all want to see our record signing score his first goal for the club.
Andy Miles is watching all the way from holiday in Bali. Beat on the Donis says 47 says Antonio ahead of Lanzini, Fornals, Wilshere, Yarmolenko ahead of Rice. Yeah, I mean, kick the Chelsea man out, right?
Where is
this
he?
Guy, yeah, so it's not because of Ayeti. Do you think Ayeti could get the nod ahead of Hernandez for the system?
I'll be honest with you. I think, yeah, because with Hernandez, you know what you're going to get from him. He's had enough chances at West Ham in the first team, and he's never really taken them, has he? I mean, when you've got someone like a Yeti that wants to prove himself, Hernandez probably will start over him. Pellegrini will, but you know he's got to have a chance at some point, and he's got a good goal scoring record from where he come from. So, you know, it might be a good time to just chuck him in. But fingers crossed that Haller is going to be fully fit, and Anderson as well, because they're 2 massive players and they're going to be a key part to what we do this season.
Yeah, I would be tempted to put him in. He's got a good goal scoring record. What's the worst that can happen? Do you know what I mean? What is the worst that can happen?
Well, it can get injured. That's just our luck, isn't it? It's just like we just can't seem to shake this sort of injury curse. I mean, Jack Wilshere's come through a full training this week. There was rumours that he was going to be out. Yarmolenko's back full training, so he'll probably be involved in the matchday squad. So, as I said at the beginning, we've still got a talented squad and a team that can go to Brighton and get a result.
Absolutely, mate. I'm quite positive about the game. I think it'll be a good game.
Yeah, it's going to be two teams. I mean, Brighton are coming off the back of a great result at Watford last week. 2 of their new players, Malpai being one of them, who is linked with. both got scored on their debut, so they're going to be up for it. They're going to want to, get a good win off the back of that great result at Watford. So it's going to be two teams on ball on the floor, playing football and just trying to work each other out and go for the 3 points.
Adam Jessup says, I hope Yeti gets the nod because it'll be a good game for him to get started in. Unlike Haller and Fornals, who had incredibly tough opposition. Somebody was saying on fantasy, they're 75% likely to play. So still got hope. But I think one of them will make it, to be honest. I don't know. I wouldn't like to say what one, but I bet one of them make it if I was a betting man.
Yeah, I'd like to see both of them. But as someone just said there, maybe if they're not fully 100%, then it's not worth risking them. We've still got, as I said, we've still got a good enough starting 11 without them to go to Brighton and trouble them and get a result.
Absolutely. People asking predictions for the Brighton game. We'll come back to the Brighton game in a minute. The Capital One Cup or the Carabao Cup or the Coca-Cola Cup or whatever you want to call it, the Milk Cup.
The League Cup.
The League Cup. Away to Newport County.
Yeah, and I see today that one's been chosen for Sky. I wonder why.
Of course,
you've also got Nottingham Forest Derby on that night as well, which would have probably been better for Sky but they're looking for that potential banana skin in the upset. But look, if West Ham want to make a statement this season, the League Cup, they should be going for it. And we, on paper, we've said this many a times, we should be strong enough to beat Newport, but we should have been strong enough to beat AFC Wimbledon in the FA Cup earlier in the year, and we didn't. So it's going to be a tough opposition, but looking forward to it. Nice midweek trip.
Yeah, of course. Reece Gale says, how are we doing, guys? Good to see you back again with West Ham, with a live and uncut West Ham Fan TV. Are fucking smashing it. Thank you very much, George. I really appreciate that. Galaxy Techno Beat says, you said Coca-Cola Cup. Listen, I remember the days, mate. I'm old enough to know the days when it was the Coca-Cola Cup and the Milk Cup and whatever cup it was. Yeah. Listen, Newport County. I was saying to you on text, we're going to get someone that's a distance away, even though like it's like
Southern draw,
yeah, Southern draw, Northern draw now, and all of this sort of thing. I remember over the last couple of years, we've had some we seem to go the distance. Yeah, Littlewoods Cup, Rob Tyler Black says, yeah, absolutely. We always seem to get that team that nobody wants to travel to. Do you know what I mean? Like the team furthest away in the Southern draw, that always seems to be us.
Yeah, I know.
A couple of years ago, mate, we decided we wanted to play away.
It's as I said, a Tuesday night going all the way to Newport. But look, whatever allocation we get, West Ham are going to sell it out. That's going to be an interesting one because I think their ground holds about 8,000. So hopefully we should get around 1,200 tickets, maybe 1,500 at a push. So look, whatever we get, it's going to sell out, and it's on Sky, live on Sky, and they're looking for the upset. But look, we should be good enough to go through that. But look, this is West Ham United. This is what we do. This is why they put us on Sky.
Oh, Matt Powell just says, where's the special guest, by the way? Yeah, I forgot about that, I just haven't had time. I've been so busy doing things, I just haven't had time to arrange anything.
The special guest is a Pixel.
Yeah, here he is.
No, we will. Next week, we'll have a couple of guests on. We will.
The thing is, a lot of boys are out in Las Vegas at the minute. That's the problem. Should get Dom on these live shows, says Lee Davis. We'll think about it. Techno Beat says, where's it going? Galaxy Techno Beat says, do you think it's a bit of a relief for us at Man United got Maguire in the end, that they may have went for Diop instead?
Look, they could still go for Diop. Harry Maguire is a great sign. I watched the game the other day. He had a great debut. He got man of the match. Look, say what you want about Harry Maguire. He doesn't put the price tag on his head. It's what the clubs do. He's a decent player. He's going to do well at United, and maybe they will still go for Diop, but hopefully West Ham stands strong unless a stupid offer comes in. And I mean a really stupid offer, but hopefully Diop will be at West Ham for the next few years.
A little few people were starting to sort of list Carabao Cup games in the past that broke their hearts. Listen, have you got any list them up here and I'll put them up on the screen. Like I always like to reminisce. We'll talk about some old games. I like doing that sort of thing. 09 says, where's the FT Jesus Christ. Where's WHFTV FPL league code?
We ain't got one, have we?
We don't do it.
No, we ain't doing it.
I'll give you a code if you want. I'll give you a barcode from some cheese that I bought earlier. West Ham break my heart every week. I just seen I don't know what that is. What's
a wow,
that?
innit?
A
just
wow?
Seen a wow. A wow
and a dolphin.
A dolphin and a thumb. Cool, that sounds like a good party.
Yeah. Matt Powell, have you got your West Ham towel pack for holiday yet? Believe it or not, mate, I ain't got one.
He's got his Mankini pack though.
Yeah, I used to have one, but I lost it somewhere and I haven't replaced it. I might get one before I go, actually. Someone's brought up Adrian saved the winning penalty. Not only did he save the winning penalty, he was the man of the bloody match.
Mad, isn't it? 2 weeks ago, he's training on his own in a park, and now he's just won the Super Cup with Liverpool. You would never have guessed that. But Pellegrini come out today and said that West Ham wanted to keep him. So that was interesting. Adrian's obviously made that decision that he wants to move on. So good luck to him. But I know there's a few Liverpool fans out there that ain't happy with him.
Henry Dunn says, are the new T-shirts out yet? In the morning, mate. They'll be out in the morning. Going back to the Carabao Cup, Will HC, I think our best Carabao Cup performance was Tottenham away a few seasons ago. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that was Andre Ayew's best performance in a West Ham shirt as well. That was a great night. 2-0 down.
Yeah, we've beaten a couple of times in the Carabao Cup in the last sort of 4 or 5 years, haven't we? We beat them once coming from 1-0 down.
2-1, yeah. Maiga scored the winner.
That's right, yeah. What else we got? You got anything, mate?
No, listen, the news is quite slow, isn't it? See, this is the thing. When the transfer window shuts, there's not really much rumours, really. So you just got to sort of talk about what... I mean, I ain't seen much news today. The main news was obviously about the injury news for Allaire and Anderson. I mean, I was just watching it on Sky Sports News before we started here, and they're saying the same thing. They're going to be assessed tomorrow, and fingers crossed, hopefully they're in the squad for Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you got anything to talk about, boys? Come up. I'll read out some of your comments while we're looking for a new subject. Who should be the new captain, the next captain for West Ham?
For me, Declan Rice. Once Noble, I think he's a ready-made replacement for Mark Noble. Maybe they should give him the vice captain now. So when Noble does eventually retire, then if Noble's not in the team, you can make Noble club captain and you can make Declan Rice team captain. That's usually how it works sometimes. But yeah, I think Declan Rice is going to be the future West Ham captain.
Yeah, I would say Declan Rice. Is he ready right now? I'm not sure.
No, not now, but maybe in a couple of years' time he will be, if he's still with us, of course.
Listen, this is a classic Carabao Cup game. West Ham 4, Man United 0. Do you remember that?
Jonathan Spector, yeah, 2 goals. I remember that night. It was snowing. We thought the game was going to get called off. It was freezing cold. Colton Cole had a worldie.
Do you know what I want to talk about? Just a little reminiscing. I want to bring these sort of things to the live shows. Victor Obina. What a player he was, Ryan.
Oh, yeah, he was up there with Emenike for me.
He was one of these players. I mean, let's talk about a little bit of memories about Victor Obina. He was like frustrating and brilliant all at the same time.
Yeah, he was brilliant. That was probably his best game for West Ham that night. Yeah, he was one of them players that, like you said, like a bit like Emenike. You're willing them to do well. But yeah, we had some. When you look around that squad at that time, some of the players we had, do you reckon any of them would get in the West Ham team now?
I'm trying to think who was playing that night.
Probably only Mark Noble, really.
Nobes would have been playing, yeah. Colton Cole,
Jonathan Spector. Tompkins must have been playing.
Tompkins. Elliot Ward might have even been playing.
Yeah. Who would have been in goal that night? I can't even remember.
What year was it? 2010?
Yeah, no, I don't think it was Xhaka.
It was Greeny then. It must have been Greeny.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was Rob Green.
Hitzelsberger, Richard B says.
Yeah, Scott Parker.
Tom Berry, this is a good question. Where did you used to sit at Upton Park? I was in the chicken run. I've sat all over it, to be quite honest with you. It depends sort of what year you want.
We had our season tickets. We was probably more lower, weren't we?
Almost to get me, yeah.
The last 3 years when I took my daughter, we was I sat in the Trevor Brook in Upper. I
sat in the West.
Yeah, I've sat all over the ground though. Really,
I sat in the West. I had a season ticket in the Bobby Moore for a long time, and then I sat in the West. The last game in the Boleyn, me and you sat together, didn't we? Because your daughter didn't go. So I'll come up and sat with you. Full Bear, that's a name from the past. Hi from Alberta, Canada, says Graham Lindsay. What are our chances on Saturday? Love the show, guys.
Yeah, look, of course we've got a chance. Brighton, I know Brighton are coming off the back of a 3-0 win and we lost 5-0. But look, it's a new weekend. It's two teams up against each other. Both want to win. Both got a decent set of players, so it's going to be an interesting game. But I even with the news coming out today, I still fancy us to nick something there. I know we haven't beat them there, but look, even a point is good away from home. But I think we're good enough for all three.
I don't think we've ever beaten them in the top flight, have we?
I can't remember, mate. I don't. I know we haven't done well against them in the Premier League. I remember last year when we played them. Do you remember that cold Friday night and we lost 1-0, freezing cold? Glenn Murray scored.
I don't think that we've beat them in the top flight. So it's about time that changes, mate. Everything's got to change at one point. Christine Tinlin talking about the Carling Cup upsets and favourite games and memorable games. Stockport, 1997. I remember that, mate.
Ian Dowie own goal, wasn't it?
I was there in the pissing down the rain. I was sort of like I remember they
had a player called, was it Brett Angel?
Brett Angel, yeah. I remember
he terrorised us that night. You know, it was that's why we always get these sort of games on Sky, because people they like to see West Ham fans upset and they like to see us losing. So
this is an interesting one. Chelsea won the last ever meeting at the Bowling Ground. Perfect. Did they? I don't remember them beating us. I don't think they did.
No, I think we beat them 2-1.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure we would beat them. Yeah, fact. Absolutely fact.
And then Mourinho got the sack.
Ian equals sloth, Richard B says.
Ian Dowie.
Richard B, Sevian Nasurko, Benny McCarthy. We were loaded with talent and went down. Talent?
Savio, Jesus Christ.
And Benny McCarthy, talent.
Benny McCarthy. Do you remember that newspaper article with him and Karen Brady? One of the funniest things. He turned around and he said to called Karen Brady the devil with tits. And she said to him, well, at least I'm meant to have tits. Brady don't say a lot of good things, but that was probably the best thing she ever said.
Yeah, at least I'm supposed to have tits. Andy Carroll 2-1 header versus Chelsea. Yeah, I remember that, mate. I think that's on our little, a clip of that's on our little channel trailer if you go and watch that. Mido. There's a blast from the past.
£1,000 a week. Mido.
Oh, do you know what though? You say about that £1,000 a week, mate. I wouldn't mind getting £1,000 a week.
Yeah, but he was on Talksport. He was on Talksport the other week. Funny enough, talking about when he signed for West Ham, and he said, "Look, I want to come back. I'm desperate." They offered him £1,000 a week. He said, "Okay, I'll take it, but please do not tell anyone. I don't want people to know I'm on that low wage." He said before he even got to his car, it was on the radio. Someone broke it.
Michael Papa says, "Who would you start at left back, Arthur or Cresswell this weekend?"
Arthur Masuaku for me. He impressed me, and you know I'm not the biggest fan, but I do like him because he's got potential to be a great left back. He worked on his sort of defending in pre-season. He looked a bit more defensive minded, so I would start Masuaku over Cresswell on Saturday.
I would. To be honest with you, like I don't know whether we must have spoke about this on post-match pint. Cresswell was poor on Saturday. Like
he was poor when Antonio went off.
Yeah, when I watched it back for the I think it was the fourth goal, just jogging like that's inexcusable. Why? That's inexcusable.
Yeah, but Declan Rice done the same for the second. You know, he gave the ball away in midfield, and he was jogging back as well. So. But with Cresswell, I think especially when Antonio went off, he was exposed down that left-hand side. And when you got Man City who can knock it about for fun, running at you, but yeah, you're right. He was jogging back for the fourth, and you want to see your player, especially first game of the season, putting effort in.
WHU Mike, Cresswell's game versus City, granted it's City, but Cresswell appears to be done for pace every time. It's like he's lost a yard in recent times. He's never been the same since that injury, has he? Never.
Well, you see the for City's first goal, the way Kyle Walker just burst past him. You know, he was nowhere near him, Cresswell. And I know Kyle Walker's fast, but he was nowhere near him.
Bring him down then. That's what I'd say. Galaxy Techno Beats, did you know that this is the first season that our home kit includes all claret shorts? Yeah, I did know that, as it happens. I'm quite a little brain box when it comes to sort of kits and things like that. Edward Denham, nice little tweet here. Edward Denham, nice little message here. Edward Denham, evening, Nicky and Ryan. I hope you're doing all right. Yeah, I'm all right. You're all right.
I'm all right, Edward. I hope you're all right, mate. Thank you for tuning in.
Ray Thompson, bad decision to put 4 nails on at half time. I think Anderson should have been replaced, but not at half time.
I totally agree. We said it on post-match pint. I thought bringing Antonio off for 4 nails and it was a tactical decision as well, was the wrong one. I thought Antonio was having a decent game, and I just think Pellegrini was so desperate to get 4 nails on. Yeah,
I think he just wanted to get the new boys on, just to show everyone, hoping that it come good. But obviously,
the thing is, if he had left Antonio on for 10, 15 minutes and it had still been 1-0, then chuck 4 nails on to try to go for it and get that equaliser. I just think it was too early.
I just think it ruined the balance of the game, because we, especially at half time, because do what you're doing for the next 10 minutes. You know what I mean? For half hour, we was well in that game for half an hour. Just give them another 15 minutes. You know what I mean?
I agree. Yeah, definitely.
Lewis Warren says, at this point, I prefer we start Johnson over Chris. Well, he can't do any worse. He looks decent.
Yeah, that's a good shout. I mean, Johnson's up there. I said Masuaku, but even Johnson would be a good shout. As you said, Cresswell hasn't been the same player for the last couple of seasons, and I think this could be his last season in the West Ham shirt. In fact, I'm surprised he didn't go in the summer.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Josh, I'm a United fan, but love PMP and this show. Great job, lads. Thanks, Josh. I appreciate that, mate. I really do.
Thank you, mate. Thank you, Josh.
Darren Clarkson. There's a Chelsea fan in the in the chat, just spamming everyone. He makes new account every week. We have the same guy coming in making new accounts. He's trolling us about getting beat. They've just been beat twice in a week. So Darren Clarkson reminds me, Man United 4, Chelsea 0. Absolutely. At least we got beat by the good part of Manchester. WHU Mike says, I know you spoke about it last live stream, but Haller looks tasty. Opening game, like Brighton, he can hit the ground running, maybe beat Brighton duck.
Yeah, if he's fit, then that'd be the perfect game for him. I think City's a test for anyone. But yeah, this is a sort of game Haller should, show us what his potential is. But if he's fit.
Lewis A, he's sticking up for Cresswell. We are. Thanks for the feedback, Lewis. Cresswell wasn't that bad. You need to get off his back. Poor clearance from Fabianski for 1 goal, penalty another, and Walker was just too quick for 1. Lewis, that's the beauty about football, mate. I wholeheartedly disagree. I thought he was fucking piss poor.
Yeah, no, you're gonna get that, and there's been weeks where I've said players are decent and some. You're gonna get that, but look, if other people see things that players do that we don't, then they've got their right to defend the player. Maybe we might be being a bit harsh on Cresswell, but we can only say how we see it.
There's a Tottenham fan in the chat who's being positive to us. I can't read out your name, mate. I can't put it on the screen either. But you seem to get more stick from Chelsea fans. Love the show. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. Mate. Appreciate everyone in the chat. Is the new shop out? What shop? Our shop?
Yeah, our shop.
It will be out tomorrow.
Looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it. All of our stuff's coming through in the post. We've ordered all of our sort of stuff, so we'll be wearing them. I'm sure. Ruben Blosh, what do you think of new trying to poach Mikel Arteta from City? Sat next to the best manager in the world. Not anytime soon, by the way. Listen, I can see where you're coming at. It's like one of them things where you think, they work with a manager like him week in, week out.
I've just seen Darren Clarkson's comment about Cresswell there. That made me laugh.
I'll read it in a minute. It's all well and good. You'd think to yourself, yeah, they could, they can learn from the best and all that sort of thing. But it doesn't. always work like that, because I think football management is more than just picking a team and sort of copying tactics. It's sort of man management, and you can see when Pep talks to his players, he talks to them with zest and with passion and all that sort of stuff. Mikel could be a lovely bloke, I'm sure he is, but he might not be able to capture that same sort of thing. And you've seen people like Brian Kidd, who worked under Alex Ferguson for years and years and years. Alex Ferguson is arguably one of the best managers that has ever walked the planet, and went to Blackburn and failed miserably. So it doesn't always work like that. But I know what you're saying. Like, I'm not going to dismiss it totally. I know what you're saying. Sometimes it might work, but in the case of Brian Kidd, it never works. Some people just made out to be number twos.
Arteta was linked with the Arsenal job before Emery went there. So, yeah, he's got the potential to be a great manager, but as you said, or a good manager. But as you said, he's got to start somewhere. So if he wants to progress, he's got to leave City and take it maybe in the lower leagues.
Darren Clarkson says, my nan can beat Cresswell for pace and she died 10 years ago.
She'll probably beat me for pace.
I don't mean to laugh at anyone's nan being dead, but Jesus Christ, that's a comment and a half. Fat Shack 34. Hello, guys. I think ahead of the game on Saturday is a better game for Haller to show his skill. So I believe he will come out and give Brighton a hell of a game. And only one thing's left to say. Come on, you irons. Listen, he might be out. So,
yeah, we're obviously know more tomorrow, won't we?
We will indeed. I think Edward Denham says, I think Dan has switched from supporting West Ham to supporting Adrian. It's hard not to support Adrian. Not over West Ham, though, obviously. But it's hard not to support him. He's such a nice guy. James Gunn says, Stephen Hawking could outpace Cresswell. WHU Mike says, I think there's a big difference between being an assistant manager to one of the best in a billionaire team. It's another to run a team single-handedly without a blank checkbook. I think the other example I can think of in that not working right is, remember Steve Clark?
Yeah. Meant
to be one of the best number twos, in the game. We got him for a little while under Zola. Went to run. I can't remember who he went to now. Didn't last. I don't think he lasted 2 months. Max Corrupter says, for me, I think Anderson being out isn't a huge loss. We have Yarmo and Fornells, but Haller worries me as a Yeti isn't ready after just 1 week with the squad.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think if Anderson was to be out, he is replaceable. With Haller, obviously, it leaves a short up top. So, yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Galaxy Techno Beats. Nicky, that picture's giving you a nice new earring. Yeah, cheers, mate. Safian Aftab says, hey, guys, loving the live show. In my opinion, Cresswell isn't good enough at all. Fredericks is terrible at getting the balls into the box. Big trouble at the fullback areas. We've been saying that all summer, to be honest.
I think they're going to address that in January. I think they're going to need to.
Let's have a look. You seen any more comments coming through?
Yeah, I'm trying to keep up with them. They're flying through.
Yeah, thank you very much for everyone in the chat. Did you know that Adrian's feet were off the line on his penalty save? But what a start! 1 game, 1 trophy. I saw the photo this morning. Yeah, they were off the line. Yeah.
Yeah, VAR didn't work in that game, did it?
Yeah, but it was Chelsea, so I don't give a fuck. If Haller is out, who do we want to start instead? Fat Shack says, I've already sort of addressed that. That would be.
You'd have to go for Hernandez, wouldn't you? Just over the experience in the Premier League.
I'd like to see. I'd like to see a Yeti.
Yeah. I mean, either one of them, but Pellegrini will probably go for Hernandez. He seems to be a big fan of Hernandez, doesn't he? He's kept him around until, well, at least the rest of this season. So,
Ben Lewington says, do you think we need new medical staff? We're seeing to pick up so many little injuries out of nowhere. Other teams don't seem to get to many as us. I can't. Obviously, I'm not a medical man, so I can't comment on what how we get so many injuries and all that sort of stuff. Obviously, after a little while, you start to sort of question. Maybe it's down to the medical staff, but I think other teams do pick up injuries. I know Arsenal pick up a lot of injuries, sort of similar to us. It just might be luck, mate. You know what I mean? But I don't know whether the managers have sort of changed medical staff over the years. I don't really know. I don't really keep my eye on it really. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. What do you reckon?
Go on, I'm just sorting out this. Someone was saying to boot someone out, so I don't know what they've said, but go on. Sorry, what was you saying, mate?
Medical staff.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's been like that at West Ham for. I mean, they moved training grounds to try to improve it. It hasn't improved. I love seeing that cat jump over the fence, and I could see that reflection in the mirror. I thought he was going to jump on your shoulder. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it might come. I mean, if they've picked up a couple of knocks in training, then it could be the intensity of the training. It's the way the players are going in on each other, which is good. I've always thought that, you know, training, you've got to pull it in as much as you do on as a match day. But yeah, I mean, the medical staff, I can't really question the medical staff. I don't really know them, whether it's their fault, whether it's the coach's fault for the training, the players' fault. It's one of them, and we just don't seem to have any sort of luck with injuries, and it's already started one game into the season.
Mr. A says, was you guys invited to the Sky Bet fan channel event with Carrot and Neville? Would have been interesting to see you guys there. No,
unless we got the email and someone deleted it, but no, we wasn't invited to into that, so it would have been nice. It would have been. We like going to events like that. We went to the Coca-Cola one, didn't we, before earlier this year? It was about February time, wasn't it? The Premier League launch of Coca-Cola. So it's nice. We always like going to them events and meeting fellow YouTubers and other people.
Ronnie Flicks, I was more confident before Man City than I am now before Brighton.
I think we all were.
What block outside the London Stadium do you do post-match interviews on West Ham Fan TV? Says Galaxy Techno Beats.
Opposite Turnstile F.
Yeah.
Turnstile right next to the club shop.
We was trying to get 2 cameras out, so one sort of opposite side of the stadium. We might do that later on in the season. Ruben Blosh says, my cousin played for under 23s. I won't name him, and he's let go because he wasn't prolific enough. I'm glad we're taking the youth team serious, as they are loyal to players who've been there for years. Yeah, it's been not quite nice under Pellegrini to see a bit more youth getting a chance.
Yeah, I think when he first came into the club, that was one of the first things he said, that he wanted to start looking at the youth and developing them. So it's nice. I mean, we've had some good youngsters come through. Obviously, Dear Garner's just gone out on loan for the rest of the season, which will do him good, and Josh Cullen. But you got Ben Johnson now. We've obviously had Declan Rice, and we've had a few others over the years that have managed to break into the first team.
Against Brighton, which 3 attacking midfielders would you have starting if everyone was fit?
Well, you'd like to. I mean, if everyone was fit, you'd like to have seen probably Fornals come in for Antonio, and it'd be the same as what it was last week.
Yeah, it's baby crying up there.
I thought it was the cat.
Edward Denham says, sell Sanchez to Thames Ironworks FC. They need him, mate. They're doing terribly at the minute, Thames Ironworks, in pre-season. I don't think they've won a game this pre-season. We haven't beaten Brighton in the Premier League, and they seem to be our bogey team. I'm not confident. Are you guys? Quietly confident. Quietly confident. Oh, this is a good one because I forgot all about this. Hey, Nicky, what was your forfeit?
We'll have to sort that out. I think what I'll do is I'll get together with the others and we'll sort of decide. And we'll announce it on post-match pint. When are you back? What's the first post-match pint you're back?
It'll
be Aston Villa.
After the international break.
Yeah, so it'll be Aston Villa.
Chelsea 1905 says, West Ham had a great youth team in the late 90s. Thank you very much for Joe Cole and Frank Lampard. And in return, we gave you Colton Cole. Thanks, mate.
And we give them Glenn Johnson.
Glenn Johnson as well, yeah.
I had this discussion in work today. We was talking about like the great players that you've ever seen play. And do you know what? For me, the best player I've ever seen technically is Joe Cole. And I'll say, this is the best player I've ever seen.
Youth, yeah, I agree. In his youth days, man, he was unreal.
Not only in his youth days, mate. He was doing things when he was 14, 15 that Messi does now. He was just ridiculous with the football. Best player I've ever seen.
Darren Clarkson says, now I don't advocate this, mate. What is the biggest animal you believe you could kill with your bare hands in a fight?
Hamster. Ninja hamster.
I reckon I'm gonna have a go with. I reckon I'll have a go with a big dog.
I don't know. I reckon like depending how they're coming towards me, if I get a right connection, I reckon I could do an horse, a rocking horse.
Larry Skeezer, I was going to put you on a big screen until you said that, mate. I'm going to get Ryan to kick you now for that. That's not on. By the way, Joe Cole is my friend's cousin. I think you told us that last time, mate. Matt Powell said a spider or ant. Have you seen the Yeti? He might be you might at Brighton, as we said. Yeah, we might. Angus Moore says, if you look at the clubs around us, they have quality fullbacks. I think we should have definitely looked into investing in that position. Listen, Angus, we spoke about this in the summer. It's one of them things where it was difficult because we had other, a centre forward, because we had so many going out was a priority. You know what I mean? And like, if we'd have signed fullbacks instead of a centre forward, I think there would have been uproar. So we needed a centre forward. Edward Tenham says, when is Gio doing the preview? You're on the wrong channel, mate. Fat Shack, I would like to see Felipe, Chicha and Yarmolenko up front on Saturday. Thoughts? Didn't we answer that? I thought we answered that one.
I can't remember, but Felipe Anderson, Hernandez, and Yarmolenko. Yeah, that could be a good forward three. We might have to play that if Alaire's out, but Anderson's not injured. But yeah, I don't think Yarmolenko will start, but he will be on the bench.
Lewis Warren on the Joe Cole thing on BT. Ferdinand said that players used to stay to watch Joe Cole train in the youth team. He was playing with men 4 or 5 years older than him, and he was the best player by far, doing skills never seen before.
That's exactly what I said, mate.
I remember going to a youth game, right? And I'm going back years, 96, 97, something like that, right? And it was when he first joined us. And I remember going to this youth game, right? And my mate Ben was absolutely raving about him. And I was only a kid myself. Like I was only like 12, 13 myself. And I went up to the game with my pal. No, it must have been about 14 at the time. I went up to the game with my pal, and I saw him score this goal. And to this day, I don't know how he did it, and I can't explain it. But it was sort of like a goal where it came from the wing. Yeah. He caught it on his foot. Like someone's gone to volley it. Yeah. He caught it on his foot. As he swung his leg back, he pulled his foot forward. He caught it on his foot, and the keeper dived, and he just flicked it past him. It was crazy. It was madness.
Yeah, honestly, mate, I've never seen a player like it. I'm even saying that Joe Cole, in his prime as a youth coming through, more skillful than Ronaldo, Messi. He was doing what they do now. He was doing that 15 years ago. You know what I mean? He was unbelievable. And I mean, that night at Upton Park when we beat Coventry 6-0 in the Youth Cup final, he destroyed them. And I remember I used to bunk off school quite a lot and go down the training ground. And I used to watch him and Di Canio. And Di Canio was one of the main people to make him, Joe Cole, stay out and learn. And as they said, as Rio said on BT Sport, he was taking it around players that were seasoned professionals, couldn't get near him, and he was 15 at the time, 16.
Do you remember the season we went down? 2003, before he left us?
Yeah, he was captain that year.
He was captain, yeah. Do you think that knocked the skill out of him? And because I remember him being the one putting in the effort in the midfield, doing the dirty work.
Yeah, he had to.
That and Mourinho.
Yeah, he didn't have the fighters in there that season to let him go on and do his tricks and flicks. You can't do that when you're at the bottom of the league, because 9 times out of 10 they don't come off. But when you're enjoying your football and you're winning, that's when they come off. And it proved it in that season when he first broke in. I mean, I remember when he scored on his debut and things like that. He was unbelievable talent. And not only that, you had Michael Carrick as well, who was very underrated. in his whole career, I think.
Two very different players that absolutely complemented each other. Darren Clarkson says, what are your favourite crisps?
I
Shall I
like
say mine?
Flaming Hot Monster Munch.
They're nice. You know what I like? Them, you know, them Thai sweet chili ones.
I don't know though. I love getting the knickknacks, the rib ones.
Oh yeah. Right, that's it. Have you had nachos from the ground yet? Nah.
I didn't even know they'd done them
anymore. No. Do you know what? I see someone come past the other day. I thought I was seeing things with a burger that was red. Oh, red.
Probably ain't cooked.
Joe Cole played in the States for Tampa. Yeah, I know, mate. I think we're going to leave it there, mate. I think 45 minutes. I think that's.
Yeah, I mean, it's as we said at the beginning. It's difficult to when there's nothing really, no news going on. But we spoke about the main bits for the week. But what's your prediction for Saturday then? Before we go, score.
I reckon we'll win 2-1. What'd you say?
Yeah, I've got a feeling we're going to win. I think we're going to be 1-0 down, and then we're going to have this like little moment where we all click, and then I'm going to go for a 3-1 win.
Oh, this is a good question. Have you got any pro footballers shirts? I've got Nobles from the Sky Blue Championship kit. We've got one. You might have seen it on Post-Match Pint. It was a present. It was a gift to us from Matthew Everton when we done our first ever interview when we first started. That's the one. We've had quite a few. We've had about 4 or 5 given to us, but we've either given away in competitions or we've auctioned them off for Isla's charity, haven't we?
Yeah, the only West Ham one I've got one of Michael Carrick's last ever West Ham shirts that he wore before he joined Tottenham. So yeah, that's sort of my little.
You had that? Where'd you get that from?
Yeah, I got that years ago. Like I remember my nephew got Brian Dean's one, and I was like,
yeah, I remember that. I
remember like I had the choice between Brian Dean and Carrick, and I thought, no, I'll take the Carrick one. But yeah, that was from one of his last games just before the playoffs started in that year. I can't remember where we played. Towards the end of it was a home game. So yeah, that's around my mum's house. I'll have to dig that out.
I've got Marlon Airwood's boot.
Oh yeah, one of them.
One boot. Something Aftab is ever going to do a collab with Amos Chat. We do collabs with him. Like we've done a lot of collabs with him before, haven't we?
It's mainly Gio though, the only one that sort of responds to us and
wants to.
Yeah.
What's the oldest West Ham shirt you two have, Nicky and Wham? Very sadly, mate, the oldest one I've got is the Thames Ironworks one from a couple of years ago, because I've got my first ever kit. What was your? I'll ask you your one in a minute. My first ever kit was a Buckter BAC one, and I remember I got that and a tracksuit for my birthday. Money was a bit scarce back in the days, mate, so that was a real gift. My oldest kit, I remember what I got from when I remember going up to Rose Sports in 1990. My dad took me up there and bought me the red England away Italia 90 kit, like the full thing. But the earliest West Ham one I remember having must have been about 91, I think.
Yeah, I think my first ever one that I remember was the old Buckter BAC one. But do you remember like the light blue and white stripe one, the Argentina looking one?
Somebody give me I used to get hand-me-downs from somewhere around the corner. I mean, back in the 80s, mate, everyone used to do that. And I remember having the Avco one from sort of 87. And I had that one. So, but I didn't buy it. And that wasn't like, that wasn't something that we bought. It was just like my
I remember the first full kit I bought was the Centenary shirt, 1995. I had the whole kit for that.
Yeah.
I remember Vin Sports on Barking Road at Canning Town. Remember Vin Sports?
Yeah, I remember Vins. Yeah, we used to go up Vins all the time, mate. We used to go up there on a Saturday. Do you remember that?
Oh, no. I'm telling a lie. I'm telling a lie there.
Rose Sports,
I'm telling a lie there. No. I'm telling a lie. It was the pony kit the year before.
The striped one.
Remember the striped pony kit? And then the Centenary one.
I remember buying the full kit to that, but I mean, that was my full kit, the BAC one. But I remember having a pony one. I had the pony one, home and away, and the goalkeeper one. But I don't know why I had the goalkeeper one, because I don't think I ever went in goal.
Hey, I was telling you the other day, I bought a goalkeeper kit as well when I was younger, the black one with a white pony tick on it.
Yeah.
I've got a picture in my mum's house. For some reason, I'm standing up in the front room like that, pretending I'm saving the shot, but I'm not even diving. But I don't even know why I got that goalkeeper kit. I didn't even like going in goal.
Matt Powell says, "What's the latest with the podcast?" We was going to start last week, mate, but we've been so busy, so I've decided that we're going to do that when I'll come back from holiday, because obviously I can get it started this week, but then there won't be one next week because I'll be away next week. So I'm going to wait till we get back from holiday. Then we're all going to get together one day a week and do a podcast. It'd be nice. Lewis Warren says, I bought a full David James kit in yellow. No idea why. I think we've all done it at some point.
I remember that. That was the feeler one, wasn't it?
Do you know what? I bought a few goalie kits. Do you know what always makes me like think like why? Do you know when you get? I remember seeing this a few times at West Ham this week, this year, when somebody buys a goalie kit but has a player's name on the back, like an outfield player. I remember seeing a kid with a goalie kit, a full goalie kit, and he had Payet on the back. I remember seeing a full goalie kit, and he had.
You can see that kid in my remember my bowling video I done when we left?
Yeah.
If you look right at the end of that video, you'll see the kid with a Payet on the back of the goalkeeper shirt.
Yes, I just find that very odd. Like, just get an outfield one, you know what I mean? West Ham, your question makes no sense. Barbara Bowler says, "Where you going, Nicky?" I'm going to Mexico for a couple of weeks.
But yeah, I don't even know why I bought a goalkeeper. But goalkeeper kits back in the day, man, they used to be padded. Like they were proper padded on the arms. Now they're all thin like these things. But
they're even thinner. They're even, I think, some of the goalie kits now. Because I remember having elbow pads, shoulder pads. I've never understood why there was pads on the shoulders. Because I used to, like, when I got the goalie kit, I remember the green one. I had the green pony one with all the little ticks on it. And I remember like diving on my arm, to check out the padding. And I was thinking, how the fuck am I going to sort of get round to dive? Like, when do you ever go that way? Do you know what I mean? And they was thick. The body was thick as well.
I hated going in goal when I was younger. When I used to go over East to the youth club, man, they used to like say someone's got to go in goal and it was your turn. I used to hate it. I used to let goals in so I can just come out and play.
Yeah, absolutely. Should we leave it there?
Yeah, I'm done, mate.
Thank you very much for joining us on this edition of West Ham Fan TV's live and uncut. You can go and see all the rest of the content that we've got coming up. For the Brighton game, obviously the fan cams. We're both going to Brighton, so we'll be up there.
Scott's preview's
just gone up. There's a FIFA preview just gone up. Loads of content coming over the next coming days. Too much. I've started a new series. Did you see it, Ryan? The morning after.
The morning after. Yeah.
Yeah. So I started that. Did you like the little?
I didn't know you. I thought that was just. I didn't know you'd done that on purpose. I couldn't.
No, I
work
left it
out.
on purpose. So yeah.
You just went like that. You went, and then you went. Why?
I thought it was a nice little thing. So there's a new series coming up. I am coming back with musings next week. That's what I'm coming back with. I know.
Do you know what? I've been naughty. I haven't done on the social this week. Do you know what? I've been so mental and busy. I forgot all about it. But I'll be back next Monday or Tuesday.
The morning after the night before, yeah. Social next week. I'm starting musing again next week. Listen, the shop is coming tomorrow morning. Like, keep your eyes out for it. If you don't follow us on Twitter, go and follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and all that. You'll see the link going up. The t-shirts are mint. They are mint. I'm telling you that now. You want to get one of these because they are absolute mustard. And they're not going to, listen, once they come, they're not going to stop coming. Like, every couple of weeks, it's going to be a new design. If something happens during the season, we'll have a fucking t-shirt out the next day. Trust me, they're coming. They're brilliant t-shirts designed by a world-class designer, and I mean world-class designer, out of our brains, and drawn up by him. Is absolutely one of the greatest talented graphic designers I've ever seen. Ryan.
There's been a lot of thought and effort gone into this. I mean, we tried to do it before, but we tried to run before we could walk. But we've learned our lessons. We've come back stronger, and these honestly, they're on
unreal.
fire. These t-shirts, yeah.
They are unreal. Everybody's going to want to have one. And as I said, then once they come, it's not just going to be like we're going to stump 7 or 8 of them into a store and that'll be it for the season. Like there's going to be t-shirts coming all the time. You'll have to keep on going back to the store. We'll be telling you about when they come out. You're probably seeing us wear them. You know, all of our ones are coming tomorrow. But they're unbelievable. Yeah, so that's it, guys. Thank you very much for joining us. As I said, check out all the content that's coming up. One thing left to say, Ryan.
Come on, you irons.
Come on, you irons.